Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 and welcome back to the Neofly series. This is of course episode 32 and we're parked here on the ramp at Jackson's Port Moresby where we landed in the previous episode in our 777. And as you can see, it's a beautiful early morning. There's some clouds around, but no rain at the moment. And we are in the Honda Jet. The 777 is actually on its way back to Johannesburg again. And we are going to be taking our Honda Jet from here at Port Moresby up to Nadzab, where we will be basing our operations here in PNG. So that's the plan for today. We're taking a couple of, no, not passengers. We're taking some cargo up to Nadzab, and then we'll see, we can have a look around there and start making plans for our base and see if there's anything we can do that side. And then I think we'll end up having to come back here to Jackson's, and we're gonna have to fly out all of the equipment and stuff we need to set up the base. So that'll be coming in future episodes as well. But we're starting off with a nice early morning flight out that side. So let's jump aboard and get set up. So everything, well, the route and all of that is programmed into the FMC. So we just need to power things up. Let's just get this out the way. Let's get the battery on. Okay, how do I want to set this up? So I reckon we do full screen navigation on this side, and this one we do checklists maybe, and we can start going through that. So batteries on, oxygen is checked, pressurization, electrical, ELT, nose wheel steering, landing gear, alternate gear release handle, parking brake is set, flaps. Okay, let's check the thrust levers and speed brake. Ice protection not required, fuel panels normal, trim, windshield heat, pneumatic panel, glare shield, chime, and avionics. Right, what we need to do now. Okay, passengers we don't actually have. Rudder pedals, all good. Okay, let's get things closed up. So, if we go here into systems. No, that's not what I wanted. I just actually want to check the load. Okay, we need to add some here because we're almost full up. So that's about right. Okay, some options. Let's close the doors. Right, then we can do our initialization. So system tests. While that's running, doors are closed, parking brake set, CAS is fine. Electrical, we're on 25, and then we'll do engine start. Right, that's completed. Weight and fuel, so sync these from the sim. Speed bugs we will set for takeoff. Perfect. Right, then we can simply go ahead and start up engine 1. Okay, engine 1 coming up. Right, ITT is coming up. And that's all nice and stable. So let's do the same for engine 2. Set the altimeter quickly.
You're good to go. Contact the tower for clearance.
Okay, so our takeoff today is going to be from runway 32. Now, we have 32 left and 32 right. 32 left is 4,265 feet. 32 right is 9,000. Now, the Honda Jet, I believe, is supposed to be able to take off in less than 4,000 feet. So maybe we'll try the short runway and see how that goes. I think it should be perfectly fine. Right, and then we are going up to 28,000 feet. So we'll dial that in. All the lights on this aircraft are automatic, by the way. There's 28,000. So let's arm the vertical speed and set that to 2,000 feet a minute climb. We'll go, in fact, no, let's do heading. What is that heading? 322. And that's what we're on. Perfect. Okay, so we've got quite a long taxi. We're going to go to our right here and all the way down to the end of this runway, which is kind of over there. We'll stay on heading mode. Then we'll join up with our route over the mountains and into Nadzab. Let's just go through the rest of this. Right. We do not need anti-ice. I'll just put in my normal squawk code. Okay, that's all done. Flight plan, set, altimeters, flaps, speed brake. Cool. Cabin signs, and obviously parking brake release when we're ready to taxi. Okay, during the taxi, we test the brakes. We will obviously test the nose wheel steering. And check flight instruments. Cool. Let's release the brakes and start getting out of here. Okay, so we go through this intersection and then to the right. Which is this one here. Okay, flaps set for takeoff. Trims. Trims are set, speed brake, CAS. Navigation, flight guidance, takeoff and landing data, takeoff briefing, ice protection not required. That is before takeoff. So this, coming up on our left, is taxiway Foxtrot, and this is, okay, it's not quite the midpoint. The midpoint is in between this taxiway and the next one. Never mind. That's the other runway. Foxtrot is kind of the midpoint of the short runway. This is Alpha. We are going left on Lima, which is the next one. Right, we've done all of our checks. Everything is good to go. Flaps are set. Altimeter is set. Autopilot is set and ready for when we switch it on. Checklist is complete. Here we go. Airspeed's alive. That's our rotate.
Transporter, good flight.
Yeah, coming up. Flaps coming up.
Autopilot.
Okay, autopilot on. And we'll go speed to FMS mode and auto throttle. Okay, so taking us up to 200 knots. Just passing 1,200 feet now. And there we are, climbing out of Port Moresby. It's like a bit of cloud in some places. So, check on the weather again. There was definitely some cloud around Nadzab when I checked earlier. So, I'll have a look now to see if anything has changed. Alright, let's go flight level change. Let it use that power to climb a lot faster. Okay, after takeoff, landing gear, yaw damper, flaps, thrust levers, flight guidance, ice protection, cabin signs, climb pressurization, looks good, and altimeters. Should we go standard now? Possibly. I think that's fine. Because we're going up to a flight level anyway. There we are above the clouds now. Also, I missed this. Nav source is FMS. Just keep an eye on that line. When it gets closer, go into nav mode. Just about to pass through 10,000 feet. Okay, through 10,000 feet. Let's have a look at the weather at Nadzab. Wind 205 knots, clouds, few at 2,500 feet, and few at 5,000 feet. Temperature 23. So not too bad. Bit of cloud, but should be fine getting in there. So Nadzab does not have an ILS, but they do have RNAV arrivals for 09 and 27 and VOR arrivals as well. So we do have some instrument approaches, just no ILS. Okay, so wind 205 means we're going to be taking runway 27. most likely be looking at the RNAV for 27. Let's jump into our flight plan here. Right, there we go, all sorted. Interesting. So the GPS has an RNAV approach to 27 with the transition of Larid, but on Navigraph that Larid transition is only for the VOR DME approach. For the RNAV approach they only have a transition of Opigo, which is interesting. Here we have an RNAV for 27 from Larid, but I don't have that on the Navigraph app. That's very interesting. So obviously there's a mismatch here I need to update, probably this. It is the same chart. Okay, I get it now. So the Larid one isn't a transition. That is the initial approach fix anyway. You can choose to have the Opigo transition. So it was just labeled a bit differently, but this is the exact same chart. Okay, cool. So we're going from our last waypoint directly to Larid, and there we join the RNAV procedure. Perfect. Right, coming through 22,000 feet. Come down here. Cruise alt to 28,000 feet is correct. So that's cool. And I just want to double check that it's got all of these restrictions in. So, yeah, it wants us at Larrard at 28. Interesting. Whereas this says we want to be at Larrard at about 7,600 feet. See, I think it does this thing. That's what it's doing. Is it has us go to the airport and then join the approach. Which is quite strange. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put in here 7,600. So that should sort things out. This one we will have a flight level 280. It's crossed it out. Oh, it's because of this. Okay, so I'm gonna have to sort this out once we can activate this. Once we're direct to Larrard, then we can activate the approach, because it's saying we can't be at 7,600 here and at 28,000 over the airport. There we are at our 28,000 feet. Could possibly go quite a bit higher if we wanted to, actually. Okay, so then I wanted to check each waypoint. So this one, we have 3,600, which is correct. 210. Then we have 310. 1,900. And that's it. This top of descent is not right. I think these issues are to do with me generating the flight plan through the normal world map flight planner. Did I have this issue when I imported from Simbrief? I can't remember now. Oh, maybe the reason the top of descent is there is because this has changed to 810. There's a little edit symbol there, but you can't change this. I think that's just saying it's because we put a specific altitude in there, actually.
Vertical track.
Okay, but that's all right. This is going to switch over. There we go. 22 minutes. That sounds a lot better. This
Vertical track.
will switch over to 7,600 at Larid once we pass this point, and then this should be a bit more accurate. 22 minutes. I know it's gone back now, but 22 minutes sounded a lot more reasonable. There, it's switched over. So Larid, 21 and a half minutes. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so we are now direct to Larid. So what I'm going to do, let's sync up the heading. And go into heading mode. Let's go back here. If we activate this, see, now I can't edit this. Oh, no, that's correct. 7,600. If we go back to VNav. That's better. Because actually, look, this is a lot closer than I thought. Okay, that makes sense. So the 22 minutes was taking us over the airport and then back to Larid and then in on the approach. Cool. Let's go back into nav. A bit of rain down there. Okay, 2 minutes to top a descent. Okay, so our minimums for this approach would be 580 feet. So let's dial this down to 600. I'm going to turn on VNav, and there it comes. We're still a minute away.
Vertical track.
I wonder what that is, because that looks better. That's actually what we're looking for, is the purple arrow. So I wonder what that was. Okay, and there it is. Even though we're set to 600, we're VNav down to 7,600, descending at about 2,500 feet a minute. Okay, so we have intercepted the VNAV. Also, it's kind of weird that it has your speed riding right on the edge of what it says is the limit, so I don't know if that's supposed to happen. Okay, we're doing about 2,500 feet a minute. Everything looks good. Okay, let's come down here and just go checklist. Anti-ice not required. Landing field elevation, altimeters. Okay, seats and signs, passenger briefing. We don't have any passengers. Cabin signs, avionics, landing data. So, why did that skip? That's all set. Altitude is set. I just need to remember how to set the minimums is the last thing I need to do. So we've done... Yeah, okay. I just need to set minimums. So... Is it not in settings? In here, I thought it would actually ask you here. Yes, there we go. Minimums is 580 barrow. Right, everything still looks good. 580 set. VNAV path down to 7.6 at Larid, and then 600 on our minimums. Ice protection. Okay, so obviously, okay, we're in the clouds. Are we picking up any ice? It doesn't look like it. Actually getting a bit of lightning. Okay, we're underneath the clouds now. We can probably turn off anti-ice. It's still happy. We should slow down to 210 knots at Larad. But let's come across and finish this. CAS, approach, flaps. We'll need to slow down first. Quite intense lightning that's actually really close. Okay, we're slowing down to 240. Oh, it's actually 210 at the next waypoint. So the 240 is for our 10,000 feet restriction. So we should start a slight left-hand turn in just a bit. And then it kind of takes us over these ridges here and right up to the edge and into the airport. Looks like we might have a little bit of rain over the airport itself. We should be okay getting in. I wonder if this dot is the actual RNAV approach. Because we're catching up to it now. I think that's actually what it is. Okay, our altitude restriction has gone down to 3.6. Should start slowing down to 210 knots shortly. The other thing I need to do is come and do speed bugs. So ref speed of 113 and approach of 118. Then we're slowing down to 210. Wonder if it'll actually slow down to the approach speed. Don't actually know. Definitely some rain out there. I think that might actually be right over the airport. Okay, let's set this to manual and start slowing down. And I think since we have that, if we actually go into approach, let's see. Yes, there we go. Flaps 1. We can tick that off the checklist now. Runway is in sight. It looks like the rain is just other side the airport. Okay, let's come down to 160. Gears coming down. Flaps 2.
2,000.
Okay, 2,000 feet. Let's go down to our approach speed of 118 knots. That's slow. I mean, for this aircraft it's normal, but like an airline or anything, that would be crazy slow. Thousand feet. Okay, landing gear, speed brake, flaps, airspeed, autopilot. Throttle is mine. Okay, 500 visual.
Autopilot.
Autopilot off.
400 minimums.
Continue.
300. 200. 100. 50. 30. 10. 5.
Brace
Okay,
that landing.
there we go. Touchdown and speed brakes.
Taxi to parking and shut down your engine.
Okay, we're going past that taxiway. I think the next one's all the way at the end. Okay. Speed brakes up, flaps up. Okay, after landing. Flaps up. Trims. Okay, welcome to Nadzab. We're going to be seeing this airport quite a bit in the future, since we're going to be basing our operations out of this airport. So the next thing to decide is where we're going to park. So we've got the main apron, we've got cargo, then the main terminal. We have the north GA apron, which could be kind of cool to keep our Honda Jet up there, maybe. I think that's what we'll do. Bigger aircraft are obviously going to have to operate from the terminal and the main apron and the cargo apron, but I think our Honda Jet can go and stay up in the GA section. So we're on Alpha 1 now. We're going to go left on Bravo 1, left on Foxtrot. That takes us to the apron. So if we look, that's this section over here. So next left, right, and then left. Very cool looking airport so far. this little road in front of us is for vehicles, not for aircraft. Yeah, there's no yellow lines there, so we'll do the right and then left. Nice detailed airport in the sim as well, and I think this is all stock. I don't think I downloaded any add-ons for this. We'll be checking out the terminal in the future. Is that a PC-12? That's cool. PC-12 is definitely one of the aircraft that I'm going to be operating in this area.
Transporter, your deadline will expire in 5 minutes. Hurry up.
Cool, we're good. It's just we had some time-sensitive cargo, which apparently we've got 5 minutes left to deliver, which means we will be just fine. Those aircraft. So we want to try and not blast any of them with our jet engines. So I'm going to do a sharp turn end here, and we'll just face kind of the opposite direction to those two, so that we don't end up hitting them with the jet blast at all, including if we need to leave and they're still there. Need to give them enough space to get out as well. That. Okay, parking brake set. Let's come down here. Okay, we'll sort out chocks and that stuff in a bit. So we just need to do thrust levers off. And that will get Neofly to trigger our delivery, so we should make it just in time.
Stand by, pilot. Cargo unloading.
There we go. Otherwise, everything else is done. That's off automatically. That's good. So we can just switch off the battery. Right, there we are. Safely arrived at Nadzab.
Transporter from dispatch. Everything seems okay. The customer looks happy. Mission ended.
So, I want to do maybe 1 or 2 flights, depending on how short they are, I guess, in this area. But I'm going to go see, to kick off our operations, what aircraft and missions we have available at this airport. So I'll check that out in Neofly, and I'll be back in just a bit. Okay, so here we are, all the way on the other side of the airport, in a Cessna 207. And our mission this afternoon, so it is later that afternoon, looks like it might be in a bit of jeopardy, because we've got a photographer who wants to take some photographs of a local landmark, which is the, let me get this correct, I think it is the Markham River Bridge, yes. So that is what we're trying to do. However, the weather seems to be trying its best to make that a little bit difficult. So we're going to go out and see. If I remember correctly, it's that way, which seems to be cloudy and raining. We went up in the afternoon, obviously, to try and get some nice afternoon light. But it looks like this might be a bit of a tough one. But we'll go out there and see if we can get something decent. And then obviously return here to Nadzab. So let's get aboard. Get out of here before things get worse. So we'll go and turn that on. Let's do nav and beacon because we're going to start up straight away. Okay, so let's go prop full, mixture full, crack the throttle a little bit. We'll get this all up and running once the engine's on. Fuel, we're on the left hand side. We're even on both sides, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Everything looks good from where I'm sitting. Taxi to the runway and take off.
Right, that's good. Okay, taxi lights. And then avionics master, we'll just give this a bit of time to align and all of that good stuff, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna just hand fly this entire flight. I think we're going out that way. Let's get this aligning. And this might actually take a while. Okay, GPS is aligned. Let's get taxiing out. See, now we're all the way at the one end of the airport. So hopefully we can just take off in that direction. So it's not quite there, it's kind of more back that way where we're actually going. I just want to see if we can see the windsock. Now, since there's a GA apron here, there should be a windsock this side somewhere. It's supposed to be just over there, so let's see. We can see that. Because it is quite windy outside, so I'd rather not take off with an intense tailwind if I don't have to, but it would be nice to be able to just go straight out from here. I do not see the windsock. Okay, the wind says, if we just wait here for a bit, 120 at 15, and this is runway 27. So we should actually be taking off from the other side. This is an 8,000 foot runway. We definitely don't need all of that. So we're going to take the first intersection to the left, which is Charlie 1. And we'll depart from there. Oh, look, a vehicle. Just gonna do flaps 1 for takeoff. navigation lights, I mean the instrument lights don't seem to be making any difference at all. Not the end of the world. There's Charlie 1 coming up here. Just remember that the windows of this 207 are tinted, so it is actually quite a lot brighter outside. Okay, prop full forward, mixture full forward, flaps set. Landing lights can come on, strobe lights can come on. Good to go. So the runway heading on departure, and then we'll just do a gentle turn out to the right. And it'll just be a couple of minutes out to the bridge, and then we'll circle the bridge until our photographer is happy. At least the weather does look a little bit clearer. Yeah, I said we were going that way. It's that way.
Dispatch. Fly safe.
There we are in the climb. So GPS says just over 6 minutes out to the bridge. I think I'm gonna have to stick to this low-lying area here. I'm not gonna try and go over there. Okay, picking up speed, so down to just 4 minutes. Yes, this is the river on our right. And the highway is there somewhere? Oh no, where we are now, the highway's there. And then it's gonna head off in that direction a bit and wind around and cross over this river, and that's the bridge that we're going to look at. actually came into the airport over that section of the mountains over there, this kind of smaller ridgeline. We came all the way in over that point to the airport. Okay, we're pretty close to the bridge now. Lighting is not too bad. At least it's clear kind of behind us where the sun is coming from. Sort of, it's still coming through the clouds, but it's not super dark. The bridge is kind of in a bit of shadow.
You are less than 2 nautical miles from the POI. Stay under 1,000 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to be very careful not to hit this mountain here as we kind of circle the bridge.
Okay, turn around the POI as close as possible until they are done taking pictures.
Do this with flaps 2. Keep the speed around 80. Careful not to hit the mountain here.
Transporter from dispatch. Enough pictures for today. Good job. You can come back.
Okay, that's it. Okay, flaps 1. And flaps up. That was a bit quicker than I thought it would be, but that's cool. And we just make the 5 or so minute journey back to Nadzab. So we're gonna fly to the right of the airport, left-hand downwind, landing 09. Taxi all the way to the end, back to the GA parking. GPS, you can actually see those RNAV waypoints that we used getting in the Honda Jet this morning. not too worried if I touch down long here, because we got to go all the way to the end. But just for efficiency and safety and all of that, we'll take the first intersection that we come up to anyway. Okay, flaps coming up. Lean the mixture out a bit. Okay, so it'll be right on this taxiway, and we'll stay with that all the way down to the end. Okay, landing lights, strobe lights, everything else is good. All the way past the terminal there. And left hand out to the kind of grass apron. Is the vehicle going away from us? Why does it look like it's not moving? I think it's just stopped. Yeah, it's facing us, but it's stopped, I think. This taxiway goes to the terminals. See that little building over there? All the way there is where we're going. Slots slowing down for the turn, and there's not much going on out here, so we can pretty much just park anywhere. Couple of planes out that side. It's literally just two. There's another one there. two. Oh, there's a twin and another single out that way. Just be careful not to put our wing into the fence here. Right, there we are, safely back on the apron. So let's just turn off taxi lights, beacon lights, nav lights, avionics. That's all done. This can go back.
You can disembark the tourists.
Battery's off. And hey, there's a vehicle coming to pick up our photographer. Alright, very cool. I'm actually super excited to keep doing more operations out of this airport, but we are running out of light for today. So a nice early morning flight in with the Honda Jet, and then spent the day sorting out arrangements to set up our base here, and then a nice afternoon sightseeing flight for a photographer. But that is going to bring us
Miles all
to
round.
the end
You must have given them
of
some great
today's
angles for their
episode.
photos.
And in the next episode, there's a couple of things that we need to
Ready
do.
for
Obviously,
engine
we're going to
start.
start doing operations into the little bush trips in the area, but also I need to be flying cargo from Port Moresby out here that we need to set up our base. A couple of aircraft we're definitely going to operate here. The 207, obviously the Kodiak, the PC-12 is a great one as well. Possibly even the Beaver might be kind of fun for the bigger runs. Maybe like a BAE 146 or the C-160-7, that kind of thing. So there's quite a lot we can do out here, and the scenery is really, really cool. So looking forward to doing a few more episodes around this area. But anyway, that is going to bring us to the end of episode 32 of the Neofly series. If you did make it all the way to this point, as always, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and hopefully I see you in the next one.